Good evening and welcome to the February 26th meeting of the Board of Selectmen. If everybody would rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And good evening and welcome to those here with us tonight or those tuning in. Any announcements from the board? If not, additions or deletions to the agenda. We're all set?
All set.
We have a couple of appointments tonight. First off with Senator Dave Woodsome, who represents the Senate District here in the town of Waterboro, amongst a whole smattering of other communities that fit into it, right? So Dave, fresh down from Augusta, the heartbeat of Maine, up there.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me. Anytime I can get out of Augusta before 5 o'clock, I am happy. So I got out at 4:30 today, so to get here. I do represent District 33, which includes Waterboro, Sanford, Shapley, Newfield, Limerick, Cornish, and Parsonsfield. And I've been a senator for, this will be going on my 6th year, and I can only do 4 terms, 2 years each, or 8 years. And it's a day-to-day basis on whether I'm going back or not. So many parts I do enjoy, some I don't. I have to reflect a little bit and look back when I was on this board here. And it's nice that you don't have to be a Democrat or Republican to be on this board. And that the politics is not a big part of this operation here. Everything in Augusta is politics. And right now, we have a new governor and a new majority. And there are 2,500 bills, roughly, that have been submitted, and most of those have not been, they're in the process of being worked through the committees. Then they'll go through the House and the Senate and back and forth and be amended, et cetera, and finally get to the governor's desk if they pass. But I just picked out a few areas that concern the municipalities, and you surely probably have questions for me. Some I won't be able to answer, but if I get the gist of what you're trying to find out, the LD number, I certainly can come back and fill you in more. Maybe one of the biggest things that's coming down the pike is the suggestion of the bill of the governor to raise the teacher salaries to $40,000, the beginning teachers. And certainly that is I mean, they're worth it, there's no question about it. I think teachers, especially in Maine, new teachers, beginning teachers, are underpaid. This proposal provides funding to phase in this raise of a minimum annual salary for certified teachers to $40,000. But the money is only good for, it's $494,921 is only for the years 2021. And I'm sure what that means is that after that, the municipalities and school districts are going to pick up the tab. So that is something that you need to be aware of. The Maine School Board Association stated that they do not favor this. But that it's going to be worked on, and I think it probably will pass. Of note is that the starting salary presently in Maine for Maine teachers is approximately $33,800. The national average is $38,600, roughly $5,000 difference. Another big bill is LD 55. It's an act to return to the normal cost of teacher retirement to the state. I forget exactly, several years ago, the state put the burden of teacher retirements back on the school districts. And this bill will repeal that and return the issue to the state to fund. I don't have the exact figures. I can get the figures from the financial office, but it is in the millions. And that would be a huge benefit to municipalities in the school district if that does pass. Another one is to, for the state, again, several years ago when they were in financial problems, the state reduced the amount of the Maine State Retirement retirees' insurance costs. And so the retirees had to pick up more cost. And that is being proposed that they go back where the state picks up more of the cost. And again, that would be a savings to the municipalities or to the school districts. Revenue sharing. This seems to be a constant football that's bounced around. I think the last, maybe the last 3 administrations have played with this. It was scheduled to go back to 5%, I believe in 2019, 2020. And the governor has reduced that to 2.5%, basically half of what you should have been getting. And for the 2019, 2020, and then it will rise to 3% in the year 2020 to 2021. Still not up to the 5% we were several, probably a decade ago now. Those are the big issues, and you may have, as I say, questions or concerns about other areas. And if I can answer them, I will. If I can't, I'll tell you.
In the year after that, 3% technically going to 5.
Well,
theoretically, right?
Theoretically.
Yes.
I mean, this, I mean, LePage did it. Mills is doing the same thing to cover her budget, which is a big one. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul everywhere they can. And they shuffling money. I'll give you one example. They reduced the educational funding for Maine Maritime by a couple of $1 million, $3 million, I can't remember exactly what it was. And which is the only educational institution they've reduced. And then I stumbled across the bill that is going to take money away from another area, which is the harness racing and fairs, and give it to Maine Maritime to make up the difference. You know, so it's again, it's a card game of shuffling cards. A lot of this is going to get shook out. I mean, these are all proposals, and we're very early in the session. And my own thoughts are that it's going to be interesting because the Republicans are in a peanut gallery right now and really don't have much say in what's going on. But I think the governor is going to need the Republicans on some bills that she does not like. And she's going to have to get a few Democrats to go along with her, plus the Republicans, to get a shakedown on what she wants for a budget. But they are definitely in control, and they've been waiting 8 years, and there's some very interesting bills before us.
What about the proposal that municipalities will be able to implement a local sales tax?
Yeah. That is up again. Primarily the bigger municipalities, the cities, are looking at that as a way to boost their their income, their budget, obviously. I don't know, Dennis. I mean, I think it could well pass.
Is it population driven, or is it gonna be, okay, township, whatever, that's got 200 people in it can have a local sales tax, or is it gonna be driven that you gotta have a municipality of 20,000 people? Or?
I have not read the bill, so I can't answer you. Just from my own personal experience up there, I think it's going to be the larger municipalities are going to be the ones going for it. I could see Portland definitely going for it. And I think Westbrook or South Portland, if they were smart, wouldn't go for it. Because I think they would be, be like us going over to New Hampshire. Somewhat. So.
True.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, if it costs you an extra 1% to buy stuff in the geographical municipal city of Portland, if you're Westbrook and you're going, well, we can sell it to you for 1% less.
Yeah,
because we don't have
especially
the
bigger price items, but even groceries over,
taxable schools.
Yeah. So.
Old Orchard is really pushing it for them other minimum receiver towns, pushing for a local option. They get next to nothing for schools now.
Yeah, yeah. That
That's
school
because of
funding
that
is still
valuation. Yeah.
not right. I mean, I don't have an answer for it, but there's so many inequitable factors that are involved in that. And I don't know how you solve it. I really don't.
You've been there long enough. Is there an inherent desire to not let communities have taxation authority just inherent in the legislature?
Definitely.
We want that power, in other words, that control.
Well, they want the power, they want the money. I know it's not, if it could give you Waterboro or Portland the option to tax above the sales tax, okay? But they do not want to relinquish anything if they don't have to, And I mean, I don't have an answer for you, but they want control.
Yeah. Well, any other questions?
I see there's 3 bills on tax lien properties up there, and I couldn't find anything exactly other than the bill that was there. They're gonna help or hurt us, I guess is the question.
One was on the elderly, right, or something?
Yeah, and I couldn't find anything other than the bill the other night when I was looking at it.
Was this a carryover from the page? Or something fresh?
There was a public hearing on it one day this week, but I'm not sure which day it was. It was in the main municipal letter that I got.
I'm on the Energy Committee, and I don't oftentimes see these bills until they come into the Senate, unless somebody gives me a call. I mean, there's been a lot of calls I've had on the immunizations coming up. Should kids be immunized, or is it a parent right?
I've heard the good and the bad of that one everywhere throughout town.
Yeah, it's a hot subject. Another one is this proposed carbon tax on gasoline and home heating oil, so we can go green. And I've got a lot of calls on that. Central Maine Power has been a very hot topic for a year or two, and this proposal to through Western Maine from Quebec Hydro to Massachusetts is an extremely controversial bill. Interesting. I read an article, a report, a month or so ago, and I found it interesting that many people have opinions on bills, and I'll just use the Central Maine Power Corridor as an example. And I would say, let's say 50% of the people in Maine are against it. And so 50% are for it or don't care, they don't have an opinion. Janet Mills, when she ran, was sort of no, but not definite no. So she gets elected and she is definitely for it now. what you're finding is that those people who are against it and who are Democrats now decide they're for it. And this is a pattern, this is nationwide and statewide, that people change their minds depending on who's supporting it, or who's a leader, and which is typical. And so the PUC has, the Public Utilities Commission has the authority to approve this. The legislature has no vote in it. We can express ourselves, the citizens can express themselves, and I would strongly urge the citizens in District 33 or throughout the state, if you have strong feelings on a particular bill, that you write or email the committee. It could be agricultural, it could be the utilities, energy, utilities, and technology, which I'm on, which will addresses energy stuff. Express yourself, because we are in a very interesting time of, I don't know, I call it renegade legislation, where people get in power and they haven't been there for a while, and both parties are guilty of it. They cram everything they can in to get what they want, because they know 4 years from now they may not be here. So if you have a passion about a certain thing, it's not enough to vote anymore. You have to be vocal. You've got to be vocal. And that means not only sending letters to committee, but to your representatives or senators. So we are in very interesting times, not only nationally, but in the state. And there's going to be a lot of changes coming that some of us will like and some won't. So stay involved.
So, how about the name of the bridge?
The name of the bridge.
Because I'm not sure that more than a handful of people know that anything happened.
Okay. Well, it hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
Okay. I put a bill in to rename the Waterboro Limerick Bridge the Carroll Woodsome Bridge, after F.R. Carroll. And I contacted the Carroll family several weeks ago, and they thought about it, and they decided that Frankie was a very private person, and he would not want something like this done on his honor. So they asked me to withdraw the name from the legislation. So that left the Woodson Bridge. And I based that on the fact that the Woodsomes have been in that particular area for well over 200 years. And they first landed in what was now Berwick, Maine, in 93 or something. But anyway, this William Woodsome bought land just prior to 1820, and Maine became a state in 1820. And this land was up in the general vicinity of where Doug Fogle's pit is right now. And it encompassed a few hundred acres. From him, the other descendants in that general area have went towards where the bridge is now. And since 1881, the Woodsomes have been on both sides of that bridge. A gentleman by the name of John Henry Woodsome bought what was Sammy Woodsome's farm there, old John Woodsome, okay? John Henry had 10 kids, and he was a wheeler dealer, and he raised all those kids and provided housing for them in that general area, in either Waterboro or Limerick. I had forgotten that the bridge had the state does names of locations two different ways. Informally, they do a job of the bridge up here. They did it in 1931, I think it was. And so they will look for some landmark or somebody who owned land or whatever. And they named it the Stimson Bridge. Now, there's two different spellings of Stimson. It's S-T-I-M-S-O-N. I think there's another one, S-T-I-M-P-S-O-N.
Yeah.
And then it's S-T-I-N-S-O-N. The Stinsons and the Stinson were actually two different people. Stimson, S-T-I-M, owned the mills, which I think started out as a shingle mill, sawmill, grist mill, and then went on later on, and someone said it was a blanket factory at one time during the Civil War. And I don't know if it went out in the 1936 flood or what, but it was sold, I just was reading a deed last night, it was sold in 1903. Yeah, wasn't Stimson. It was sold to a Jim Watson. And that area, on the left-hand side of the bridge as you're going, the mill site included 1.25 acres. It was a very small lot. And it was sold for, I think, $1,000. And that was the last that I can follow it. And, but anyway, the Stinsons own the mill. The Stinson, S-T-I-N, was like a clerk of the works in that factory, that mill. And he was involved with the selling this John Black died in 1880, and the Stinson was the executor of that thing, and that's how Woodsome got a hold of it through an auction. But the other way to go about naming something that the state has, like a bridge, is a formal statute. This is the way I went. So I felt comfortable, even though I am a Woodson. I'm the 11th generation, and it's now 14, that the Woodsomes have been in that area since 1820, and in that area in particular, on both sides of the bridge. So if you have an opposition, please write your senator or representative and complain. The bill went through the Transportation Committee unanimous. It has not worked its way through the House and Senate yet.
Does it have a number by now? Probably does.
It does, and I can't remember what it is, Gary.
So, based on that scenario of the DOT just giving it a name, there was never an official
No,
legislative
no,
blessing of a name.
right, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I will say, working on most of the main bridges in southern and central Maine, these bridges got all kinds of different names, and it don't add up to today's environment. They get back into the 30s or the 40s, but everything has got a name. Every bridge has got a name.
But when you first brought that to our attention, when you look at an old map, Stimson, with a P, owned, because they owned all the way up to, what's the...
That's Foss Road.
Right, the Foss Road,
Yeah.
right? They owned all the way from there to the river
Yeah,
at one time, because they don't today, but... So, my thought was, well, maybe it was supposed to be the Stimson Bridge, but now you're saying that there was a Stinson.
yeah, it's
you know,
both.
so-
Both are listed, which is kind of odd.
Sounds like there's traces back, but it was just a name that was hung on it, right?
Some of these
Yeah.
bridges, if somebody got hurt or killed on in the process, or even a car accident or bus accident, they may have a name because of something that went wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, David. We appreciate you coming, and we'll keep your email inbox full.
Yeah, if you do have some questions, because these bills are just starting to come out of committee. And as I say, I don't see them until they hit the Senate. And, but if somebody in my district, or even out for this matter, I get a lot from Freiburg, gives me a heads up, hey, can you look at this and find out what it is, I can do that. But I don't sit there and read 2,500 bills, I'll tell you that. So,
Okay,
A quick question before you leave.
Yep.
Regarding the school funding issue on salaries, which you say may revert back to the municipalities at some point, but the retirement is going to revert back to the state, so that the school districts no longer have to fund that. Is one going to offset the other?
I would think, and I haven't seen the figures, okay? I would think the retirement part would be huge compared to the salary one. So I would think if this is voted that the state will fund the retirement, that would well offset the salary increase. I did see a figure that I think the retirement, like right now, it's 38 million a year, and in 2 years it's going to be 43, and in 5 years or 10 years it's going to be up to around 51 million for the retirement thing.
it's more people going into the
Yeah.
system.
Yeah, and so
More going in that are, there's more going in that compared to those that are leaving.
yeah,
By a
and
passing away.
but there will be. I mean, I'm 73. I've been on the system for what, 4 years now? Yeah, 4 years, and I mean, I'm going to croak someday. That's going to stop. And there's a lot of people out there like me, you know. But there's a huge volume of
Yeah, most people are
55
like you.
to 60, 65 that are coming. You know, this is a big bubble coming into
Yeah.
that system.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, going, yes, there'd be more money spent on the retirement than will be spent on salaries. So I think the municipalities and schools would benefit from that. You know?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to weigh out those numbers.
Yeah, I mean,
The
it's
issue,
early.
the issue with the salary bump, even if it's, you're looking at a 12% increase or something like that, that's only for those entering the workplace.
Right.
But at some point when the negotiations
You've
start,
gotta bump
everybody's
everybody.
gonna say, well, we all gotta get bumped up,
Yeah.
right? So that's when it'll start to
Yeah.
really pinch the budget,
Yeah.
so.
And you may find that the $40,000 salary for teachers is 38, you know? You may find that the retirement is gonna be funded at 50 or 60% rather than 100. I mean, it's just too early to know. But by March, April, things are gonna be a little more solidified. And
I'm gonna spill my guts here, but $38,000 is about $8,000 more than what your transportation workers are starting out at. And they're working 52 weeks a year. School teachers working just about half that.
anytime you wanna go in the classroom, Dwayne, by God, you sign up.
Well,
I was there for 35 years.
any night that you wanna take a truck out there in freezing rain.
No, I
and
know.
take a chance on your own life, trying to plow and dodge the traffic, you guys are welcome.
Yeah.
And the starting salary is 30,000. Yes, we don't have to go to school for 4 years to do it, but everybody's salary needs to come up, not the
Yeah.
teachers and not the DHS workers.
Yeah, I
We need to
hear
look
you.
at it.
But you know, it's, when this all gets into the big pot, it's a matter of priorities.
Yeah.
What is important? And I hope the legislature keeps that in mind, and the governor also is, you know, I have to live on my budget. If I don't have enough money coming in, I can't go out and buy a new four-wheel drive tractor, which I'd love to have. I just can't do it. I gotta live on what I make. And the state has to do so also constitutionally, you know? And to put all of these great programs into the budget, hoping the economy stays good, the taxes keep coming in, et cetera, that's a pretty risky way to operate. So I hope that we will say, okay, these are priorities, this is what we can afford, and this is what we'll look at down the road. But, that's, I'm one vote out of 35 in the Senate and 151 in the House, so.
Could be a wake-up call in 2 years, couldn't it?
It could be. It could be, but, I mean, this is America, so who the hell knows? I mean, it's crazy out there.
Anything else for Dave? Thanks for driving down, Dave. I know it's,
Well, fortunately, I've got a nice hotel about
Yeah.
5 miles from here. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's
Thanks.
in the heat up when you get home.
And as Dave mentioned, anybody that has questions or whatnot, I'm sure that Dave's email is readily available on the state website if anybody's interested.
You can also get them through Messenger on Facebook, because I did one the other day.
Yeah, you did. I don't know if David could, if he wants to put my email on there. I don't know if I've got a card on there.
I can give it.
Sorry, we got it, Dave. We'll just put it up.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
It might be, is it on the site anyway, both? Dave? Do we have the state rep and state senator on the contacts? Thank you, David.
Thank you.
We have another appointment tonight. eJayne is here to talk about a project of significant scope. So I'm going to turn the mic over to eJayne, and I'm going to talk about building eWorld a little bit.
Yes, I don't know if you need the PowerPoint. I mean, you guys all have a copy of it. I mean, these guys, I don't know. Because I'm not going to go word for word for the PowerPoint basically, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm here for two reasons. One is to formalize a project that I will be doing in the RSU 57 district with a focus on Waterboro. This project is a 4D project, which is new to even the federal programs, the National Science Foundation, but it does qualify for a $12 million grant that is passed out in over 2 years, and then an additional $12 million for 3 more years. I have qualified for the program. What's unique with this project is that I also have the formula to convergence. Convergence with National Science Foundation it's basically all the systems and frameworks, research, everything that the whole nation does to figure out the problems and how to solve the problems. Senator Woodsome was great saying about the priorities. How do you prioritize? I have spoken with Dan Preto, this was years ago, with Homeland Security, and he's like, Jane, it's really difficult to prioritize principles. Do you go and take care of a hurricane, or do you take care of something that's happening right in the local district? So what this Building eWorld project is, if you want to go to slide where it says 1, I don't know who has the control. Keep going. I'll have 1 on the top right there. So this is who I am. My name is eJayne, and I'm announcing the activation of this project. Basically, it's a 4D project. You won't understand this project until you understand what 4D is. I've gone, toe-to-toe with Gary, and he's frustrated. He says, everybody doesn't understand what energy is, doesn't know what I'm talking about. That's okay. I don't take it personal. All I can say is that my door is always open to sit down and discuss it. I do want to do workshops to explain what it is and how it works. The objective with this 4D technology is convergence. It's to bring us together. That's what convergence is. It's bringing us all together and figuring out, how we can work in a system at the community level or even at the national level. And I have the formula. I have the coding process. I need to test it through experimentation within the community of Waterboro. And this is the second thing reason why I'm here, is I need your help. I need the help of the town of Waterboro, for the RSU 57 district. Gary, anybody that is as a part of this district, I really need your help and support. And I understand it's a two-way street. You understand what I'm doing, then maybe you'll trust what I'm doing. I have my confidence. I have this formula. I'm excited as a little kid in a candy store, and it's frustrating because I can't share it with anybody in the town of Waterboro because you don't understand what 4D is. So basically, in April, I'm going to be putting a survey in the field that's like scanning. It's like a field scan, so to speak. We'll be talking to a bunch of different people to get a read on the town, to find out where people are at. I think that's next click. Who's got the click? Yeah, this is where the survey going in. Basically what survey is, I'm scanning the field. You know what I mean? Surveying, scanning the field. And fourth dimension, it's energy. It's about energy, E equals MC squared. And energy, force, when you scan it, you can read the energy of the field of the people. This is where we're delving into new technology and information. And that's basically what this Building eWorld project is about. When you click to the next slide, please, where it says 3. Again, this is where I need the support. This is everybody, all fields, individuals, and it's equality, no discrimination. I mean, there's a lot of discrimination in this country right now that fourth dimension can eliminate the discrimination factor. Again, showing this to people that don't understand what fourth dimension activity is, that's my challenge. And I'm welcoming this challenge all the time. My door is open. If you could click to slide 4. What my objective is to scientifically validate this fourth dimension technology to National Science Foundation. And it's, you know, the documentation of everything I do, it will be coded, just like when you're coding for a program. I'm gonna use my energy as like a conductor. I'll explain what my codes are. Again, we gotta go through the workshops, and it's gonna take a process of learning. But I have something that can help this country, and, you know, starting at the local level. This is where convergence has to start, from the individual. And that's my key to this whole project, is that everything has always looked like in a laboratory and everybody looks over things. Convergence, fourth dimension, takes it from the person inside out. Everybody's equal. And that's the selling point for future products in fourth dimension. And because it gets everybody on the same page, with Senator Woodsome here tonight telling us what's going on at the state, that was great. What if we can take all the information that he learns up there and put it into a simple kind of story that we can relate to, and each community will be different. So that's where perspectives come into factor. If you go to slide 5, you know, you ask anybody, our government is messed up. It's, as Senator Woodsome said tonight, it's just like at this breaking point that something's going to happen. This is where this technology that I'm working on it's there. It can help solve this problem. Again, I need your help. I need the help of the selectmen. I understand. And it's been frustrating for me because I hear via Gary is that you don't understand what any energy is and your hands go up. That's okay. You know, I don't take offense to it. I just need you to work with me. And I understand that you're on a board and you're busy and you've got your time. This is an opportunity of a lifetime, you know, for the town of Waterboro, for the state of Maine. And whoever I can reach, I have the passion. It's just getting out there and getting connected to the right people. I can have great conversations with technology people. I would love to speak to your technology guy and explain how this relates to IT. Again, if you want to go to the next slide, I have 40 method and techniques, like I said, that meet the NSF requirements. And this, you know, it's an opportunity to get the grant money that will drastically improve community quality, starting here in Waterboro. I would love to see sidewalks right down in South Waterboro. I would love to see nice trees and buildings with everything coming alive. It used to be that way when I was little. We can have that again. Again, it's getting the voice of the people and working together as a community. Convergence, bring us all together. If you go to slide 7, well, $12 million grant over 2 years. I have the plans on how we could distribute that. Eventually, the business model, which isn't brought, it won't be out for public knowledge until I get it protected. But the money, instead of like Bill Gates, where he made billions and billions and he ended up being a bazillionaire, I want the money to be channeled into the school system. This is necessary. Now, as we see that there's problems with teachers and what have you, I'm not looking to be a bazillionaire with this technology. It has the potential, but for it to work at the highest level, and when I say highest level, the highest moral level, we need it to go into the education system. Everybody needs an education, and we need to develop it from a different way. Right now, it's capitalism. And again, if we can channel this $12 million to a system where the RSU 57 becomes self-sustaining and does not have to be a tax burden on your budget, Town of Waterboro's budget, on Alfred's budget, anybody's budget. You take the school system off, the communities are going to start thriving. And the profits from the fourth dimension technology and the industry itself, I have plans that show you how the money can be channeled into the school system, and they can be learning and selling. They can be like an industry right within the school system to keep the money going. And on slide 8, one of the things that's very important is this, it's a transparent system. Everything I do will be transparent. I mean, everything, this project will be transparent. You'll learn everything. Learn how the communities work, learn how people are connected to the communities, to the state, to the nation. And that's basically comes back to National Science Foundation, that I will show them what transparency looks like through the coding, and how it's, a resource, how people are a resource. Chevron, for example, one of their mantras is human energy. And they show all the people that are working in Chevron oil, and they say human energy, it's our resource. So basically, if you want to go to the next slide, the next few slides, I should say, are just basically some of the tools in fourth dimension that we use, like the attention sheet. Get everybody on the same page. There's an attention sheet that I'm working on designs, and I think I gave you guys a copy of it. It shows all the people that are in the town office, in the selectmen. And people, when they put things in perspective, almost like in a gaming format, that leads us to understand what's going on in the community. And this is, if you go to the next slide, as I say, a person equals the energy of the person. That's fourth dimension, E equals MC squared. It's all fourth dimension energy learning, so to speak. You can Google 4D if you want to learn it. Everybody has their own way of learning. That's the hardest part for me, is to reach everybody, teaching the 4D, but I'm confident that I can do it over the next few months to at least get enough people to help share what this technology is. And for example, if you want to go to the next slide, I remember I challenged Gary. He's got all the power in the town. And
That's your opinion.
and it was weird, because then you sent me, if you go to the 9C, the next one, this was in the email that I got from Gary. My day is full of being the CFO, of a $15 million corporation called the Town of Waterboro, and the COO of 8 out of $15 million, responsible for staff. That, as far as I'm concerned, that's power, and you're managing a lot. That's a lot. With responsibility comes power. That's what we say in fourth dimension. I know with power comes responsibility, as Spider-Man says, but you have a lot of responsibility.
But I still answer to the same people, the voters, town meeting, and my 5 bosses.
Answer
So
how?
they tell me what to do.
He's accountable to us.
Okay.
But,
I described my job differently.
Okay.
well, but to what she's saying is that you have control over, it's exactly that. You're the person that we've hired
Yep.
to act as the CFO of the budget process, and the chief operating officer of the municipality, right? So everything goes to you, so you have the authority of managing and planning all of the resources within the municipality, right? Now, you report to us, okay? And we are here certainly to affect guidance and make recommendations and those kind of things. And ultimately, we report to the voter, right?
And we have a budget we have to adhere to.
Right. So there is certainly a piece of this that you're driving the bus. How's that?
Exactly. I think that's a great way to put it. He's driving, and if you're trying to reach more people to be here and be part of this process, this whole civic process at the town of Waterboro, town office of Waterboro, I'm looking at Gary, and I'm the one that initiated it. A year and a half ago, and he passed it up. Speaking of which, I've known Dwayne maybe 3-4 years, pretty good. He's been a great resource for me. Great resource. He's helped me. I'll ask him a question, and he offered. So he's helping. You put the and then I understand, because of your position that you want to manage this project as well as that, together. In fourth dimension, it's kind of like, yeah, you can't. You know what I mean? You can't manage my project. I can't give you my business plan. I know you want to see the money. I can't show you this. Again, this is fourth dimension. It's a different way of looking at the way we do things now. I'm not saying you got a lot on your plate, and I respect that. Don't get me wrong. But you do have the power. Where's the mayor? You know what I mean? I see you're missing a body of somebody that's out in the public sharing, you know, what the people need to know. And I'm not seeing that. That's my assessment so far. And I don't know, Waterboro's what, 8,000 people? You know, do you need a mayor? No, not really. A town manager? I would say you're more of a town manager. So again, this is just, you know, an idea. Also, the other thing is, in the charter where it says, you know, you gotta be, the town administrator has to be from Waterboro. And.
It doesn't say that.
No. No?
Doesn't it say you have to be from Waterboro?
Does they have to be? Well, I would think that you would want to be. Aren't you guys all from Waterboro? Are you the only one that's not from Waterboro?
To be a selectman, you have to be from Waterboro.
Okay,
But
so not
not
the
the
administrator
town
doesn't have to?
administrator.
No.
All right, so I guess if he's got all the power and he's not from Waterboro, coming from the heart, you know what I mean? People are in it for the passion, and that's where, and I'm not knocking you down, Gary. It's that's an important variable when it comes to fourth dimension and power and energy and all that good stuff, is Gary's heart in Waterboro? If it is, work with me, Gary.
Well,
Call me when you want to understand fourth dimension. You know what I'm saying?
I am. You're sick of hearing from me. I don't blame you.
No, I'm never sick of hearing. I
So-
get frustrated and have to take a step back. But so basically, in a nutshell, I mean, it all goes. It's convergence. It's bringing us together and working. I'm telling you that I have a golden nugget for the town of Waterboro, where it's a coding formula that can help. National Science Foundation. They have money to give, and why not Waterboro, Maine? I mean, if we do this right, or should I say when we do this right, this could be the Silicon Valley of the East Coast. And again, the people need, you know, to be a part of it. And like I said on 12, the bottom of 12. I mean, actually, no, I am available for meetings if anybody wants to meet. Keep going, one more. Right here. In April, when building eWorld is activated, the challenge will be on the town office and how well its performance. Game on. Let's have some fun and why, you know, this district can be number one in the community. And if you look up at the third paragraph down, I should have read that one first. Wait, money comes pouring in, measuring techniques. Yes, this translates in the third paragraph down. When money comes pouring into the community, it usually generates a population increase in the community. This translates into a need for civic planning to step up their game and be prepared for what's to come. That's your roads, more people. You know what I mean? Do you not want that? Do you have a limitation on how many people? This has to be managed. You know what I mean? Ahead of time. And you guys aren't, usually it's reactive. Critical response capabilities is basically what convergence is, to be prepared for what's to come. I'm telling you that we can get this golden nugget into the community. It's what you guys are looking for, but you also have to be prepared for triggering an inflow of attention. And next thing you know, you guys are managing a town that's got a lot of potential.
So I think to a great extent, you know, the comprehensive plan and the work that we're doing to try to implement those efforts, okay, that were identified, really is the current activity to prepare for the future, okay? I think this is, I guess it remains to be seen as this thing starts to develop, okay? The benefit or whatever that provides the municipality to better prepare for what's to come.
Right.
So I think that really will be you're right, game on is, okay, what do they say in Missouri? Don't tell me, show me. So
Yeah.
let's do the show me.
I don't like to surprise people. I'm a preparer, planner. One thing that I would like to get started on as soon as possible, especially when April comes, is do you guys have some kind of response plan if there was a disaster or something that happened in the community? And what is it? Is everybody on the same page? I can tell you right now, no. Maybe you do it response, something disaster happens and all of a sudden they all look at you and then now you're in response mode. I'm a preparer. I think this is something that we should all be prepared for, getting into that mode right now. And I don't know where that is on your agenda or if it is. I remember Dwayne telling me that if Seacoast, if anything ever happened, they got the routes to go a certain way and he's got to go get the signs. It just doesn't sound like it's organized.
Yeah, what you'll find is there is an emergency plan for the municipality that's managed. In essence, the board at the time approved all of that, but it's now managed through Matt because of his EMA emergency management piece of his activity. So there is a plan, okay, for those kinds of things.
But it's from a management perspective, and I'm all about like,
Well,
let's teach the employees or
okay, but it's
public.
really, you're right, it probably isn't, you know, if this happens, do this. I think what it is that, you know, it addresses all of the things that potentially could happen and how the town effectively goes and manages or reacts to that. So that might be a benefit to shake that out and take a look at that.
That's the starting with building eWorld, convergence, to start bringing people together is usually when a disaster happens. Everybody comes together, you see it, like 9/11, everybody came together. And I'm just taking it a notch ahead, is let's do it in preparation mode, not in response mode.
Right.
And that will bring the community together, and that'll help me with my project with National Science Foundation. So I think that's my in with you guys, is maybe work with you somehow, with whoever, to get some kind of disaster plan to the public, and not in a fear type way, but in a fun, understanding, we know what to do, confident sort of way.
I can show you the book. I mean, it's a public document, so.
Right, but how are you communicating this? Again, we're back, building eWorld is like a fourth dimension communication system, will be the end result when I
Well, it's
do
the
the
same
research and stuff.
communications that we have, it's available at the town hall.
Right.
If you wanna look at
It's in the back room, if you got a minute, go look it up, yeah.
So what is your current timeline? When do you go to the National Science Foundation and say, hey, I want this much money?
Oh, I mean, they submitted to me, actually, I qualified last summer
Okay.
with this project just to get into that program, because you have to be outside the box thinking, something that's going to solve a problem that's out, you know, that's big. And I mean, she qualified me. Her name was Kirsten, and I can't remember her last name. And she said, yes, you qualify, you need to speak with this gentleman. Now, this gentleman was in a different department, education and technology, I think, is where his focus was. And then she also says you need to work with the community and work with your selectmen to get them on board. And I've been there since. I have not moved out. Meanwhile, about a month and a half ago, I got another solicitation sent to me on convergence. And this fits the mold exactly of what I have. It has more money, it solves more problems, and it's ideally where I want to be. So now my passion has stepped up to, now I'm ready. That's why everything's starting to move faster now. The grant request has to be in by May 6th, I think. I would love to show by the end of April that you guys are working with me. All I just need to show is that RSU 57 and especially the town of Waterboro is working with me. So that can be on my proposal to them. I'm confident with my coding and the specifications and requirements that it's looking for. It's the people. That's what's gonna hurt me getting this grant for the town.
So what would you need for help from staff, whether it be school?
Knowing what I'm doing. It's transparent system, and I need it because if we implement it, you guys, it's kind of like if you're learning how to use a computer and you just use it and you don't know how the computer works from the bottom up, you go send it to a tech. Town of Waterboro runs your own town. You guys need to know how this works because it's coming from the town. And I know that it might push you back saying I don't understand. That's okay. You know what I mean? But I'm working on ways, I'm working with a team right now that's helping me, pardon my expression, dumb it down to the point where it makes sense for all of you. But I really do need you guys, and I say this with passion, I need your help and support on this, and it's a win-win. It's win-win-win all around for everybody, especially even the National Science Foundation. Convergence, I mean, they put this out, Big 10 ideas they put out there. And this program, I don't know if you Google that on National Science Foundation, and I believe you guys got this when I first started, the Big 10 ideas. This is one of the ideas, and this is the one that I'm focusing in on, and I thought it was an honor that they sent me this solicitation.
So is your goal by the end of, let's say, April, this board could understand more in depth of exactly?
Knowing what I'm doing. I mean, you'll know a little bit more when I get a read on the public, and then I come back and then I show you like that attention sheet. There's a lot of little variables. I'm trying to make it just a simple little playbook. 4 or 5 pages. This is how we're gonna, this is how we did this, and this is what it concludes, and this is why it's fourth dimension. And then it starts building. Convergence, even though you're coming together, we're building. That's why it's called in convergence, growing convergence. So it's like you're kind of bringing it in, but you're growing it. So how does that work? Like a black hole. And that's like the science that I'm using with people. So
Okay.
so basically what you're asking me is what would be ideal for you guys to be on the same page? At least me meeting with each one of you, I don't care if in a group, in 2, 3, or 4, and then meet one more time with my team. And then we could give you a report and an assessment of what the fourth dimension technology can do to help better the town in a measuring performance. And then I can take this to the National Science Foundation. If you know, the $12 million grant is going to help me get the people and the products and the stuff. It's kind of like you can't just start with a floppy disk and a hard drive. You need the whole computer to work this. And that's why the $12 million will do this.
So is the, you're talking about, you know, you're gonna launch your survey to the public in April.
It's,
Are you looking to be able to digest that?
the survey,
results
it's not
of
like
that-
your hand survey, it's a field scan. I mean, I say survey because that's the 3D world. 4D world, word, would be, you know, I'm reading the energy, I'm reading the field to find out, you know, when people have got resistance, people are all supportive.
So I guess-
Waterboro's strong, I
guess
can
what
measure
I'm-
that.
I guess what I'm trying to get to is, what's the next step? I guess, I know you've got some plans to launch some things and whatnot. You need us, I would assume, before you submit to the National Science Foundation.
In April, you will, each one of you, as selectmen and the administrator, will receive a 4D tool from us to identify who you are and what your objectives are. So that'll get the ball rolling, and then we'll build from there.
Okay.
And it's not just limited to you. I need to go see Superintendent Malone. I have not spoken with him yet. This is my first focus, because like I said, it's RSU 57 with a focus on Waterboro. It actually starts at my home. This is where convergence starts. It starts with me in my home. I'm from Waterboro. You know, I mean, this is my hometown. And now I'm reaching out to my town, which is you, and then it just builds from there. And I'm building this convergence. So yeah, Superintendent Malone will be the next person that I'll be speaking with.
Any questions?
So you're not going to really have a survey that you can show us the results of, like a formal survey?
I'll show you the result. I mean, the results are basically, my objective is to
It'll
get,
be your opinion.
if I reach everybody, what do you got, 7,000 and some odd people in the town of Waterboro? I mean, again, I'm with a focus on Waterboro. I reach 4,000. It's kind of like a petition if you're running for office. These people are listening. Okay, are we on board? You know what I mean? If I show you that 4,000 people are listening to the Building eWorld project, that's a measurement right there.
But there won't be any documentation.
There should be. I mean, everything's transparent. Documentation validates everything, and I
But
do
it'll be
use
from
that.
you, it won't be from the people, the participants.
And like you're looking for, what are you looking?
Well, we just did a survey for,
He's talking about a hard survey where there's this many questions posted and these were the answers.
Paper copies.
Yeah, that's not that's a linear system, and I'm using a relative system. And again, that's relativity. And when Senator Woodsome was talking about it, how he's talking about the priority, it's linear. Everything's linear and it moves through. This is a relativity, so it'll be all relative to where and how. Joanne suggested, you know, for us, a couple of us, just to go to the town dump on Saturdays and Sundays. A lot of the people go there. I'd like to get the statistics, how many people come into the transfer station on Saturdays and Sundays. They must have some kind of tally. I don't know if they keep record or not. And then I reach everybody that's there because it's one of the town things. That's not a bad idea. I think that's a
Do you
good
have to
idea.
talk to them to do
I
that?
have a question. So what do you mean by reach? What is your definition of reaching people?
Connected, like right now.
Okay.
You know me. Right now you know me. I'm
I have
eJayne.
no idea who you are because you're in a different dimension.
Okay.
You are in a totally different dimension and you do not speak the same language and you're
I-
trying to talk to them and they are in a different dimension.
But we're all right here, right now.
Yes.
Right.
But we don't all know that on the same levels.
This seems to be as real as can be to me. Am I wrong? And I don't know your name.
But the communication is very, very staticky.
Right, well, it's when you ground, and that's part of fourth dimension, when you ground this energy, which it has not, it's been activated
It
for
also has to be converted so that it's understandable on either side.
Right,
whether
right.
it's an
That's the
electrical
project.
system.
That's the project.
Yes, but to get people's buy-in before they even know that connection is very difficult.
Interest. Right now, it's interest. How many people
But
are
when you're
interested?
speaking your language, it's hard for people to feel anything but defensive. Because
Are you
don't
speaking for
identify
everybody?
anything- No, I am, yes. Yeah. Because when I cannot.
And I respect and I appreciate your position. And you're not the first person that has talked to me like that, so I understand.
My position.
Your position is resistance from me. I do know
My
that.
position is really curious. I'm extremely curious. And I hear that you really want something, and you're really passionate about it. And you're having a really hard time because
Yes.
you haven't dumbed it down yet.
Yes.
And you're trying to get people to buy in before the dumb down. Yeah,
No, I have a team. And as I mentioned, I do have a team that I am with. They're called Team Code A. And they
Sounds
are
very foreign. It sounds like something that would have been one of the animated shorts. on
these
the
guys are
office.
millennials and they're gamers, so they're the future. So I'm working with these gamers who understand magic. Because this basically, essentially, is like a game.
This is Waterboro, you know?
I understand that. And then does Waterboro want to grow and solve their problems? They have
Maybe
to.
not.
And again, I respect your position.
No, I'm speaking for, I, in some ways, am more on your side.
Okay.
Talk to them, they'll tell you.
No, and I do, and I have. I mean, this has been a year and a half that I've been working with them. And this is basically what Gary has been saying is what you're saying. And I understand that. I really do understand.
You know,
It's
you're
frustrating
trying
on my
to-
behalf.
In a way, you're trying to be a messiah. You are trying to
No.
bring the answer and go,
Convergence.
people get crucified when they go into their own town and they have an understanding of reality that the other people don't share. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, it's just like, there's a whole gap going on here that you're depending on people to be able to understand something that you're not really able to communicate.
Let me give you an example to relate from where I'm coming from, and maybe you're going to say, when Bill Gates, back in the early 90s, and you can look this up and what have you, he would go into bank. He had a software program, Windows, and he wanted to put it in computers and get it out into personal households. The bankers, nobody who wants a computer in their house? What is this program? I don't understand. You're speaking some kind of language. You see the movies on it. Nobody understood what he was talking about, having a computer in the household. Who would want that? That was in the late 80s, early 90s. And his reception from the public is exactly how I am received right now with energy. It's like the next phase.
That makes a lot of sense.
So, and that's where I'm coming. And sometimes I just want to go in a corner and just say, forget it. I can't. I had 20 years
But
invested
Bill
in
Gates
this.
too, so I mean, that's the
Right, and I don't want to go the same channel he went. He went to the bazillionaire route, and I am more of a giver than a taker.
But people
Yeah.
don't want to take something when they really don't know what the fact is.
Right, and I understand that, and I respect that. Again, I do have a team working with me, and, what?
Bill Gates actually proved that his system worked, is what he did. So you gotta take it to the next step.
Yeah, but then he would try to get a loan and nobody would finance him.
Yeah, but that's why he built it. He built it from zip.
Right,
He had
right,
nothing but his
right.
great idea and like $40 that he paid for the program. And then he proved that the value of it himself.
Right.
Went along and said, I can build this with it, I can build that with it, right?
Yes, that's where and he would have his,
Everybody else to go buy it first. He just proved the value.
right, and he had his seminar, that's how he had his conventions and shows. To show the kids, well, I call them kids because it seemed like they all liked what he was doing, and then it grew and grew to the point where it was. Absolutely. But when he tried to go get it financed, the average layman that didn't do computers did not understand.
Didn't
Gamers,
stop him.
and that hasn't stopped me.
Right.
That's the product that I'm making, that you're speaking of, that Bill Gates did, that's what I'm in the process of doing right now. If I had it already built, I wouldn't qualify for National Science Foundation.
I think when you're able to show like the result without MSF or anybody like Bill Gates did, like you're using him for your model. If you can show a result, I do this, it equals this, it's going to be easy for you to sell that.
But that's just it. National Science Foundation does not want a material. You have to understand what National Science Foundation is. They don't want something that has a concrete substance. They want something that's outside the box, like a theory. My theory is E equals MC squared. We can apply it at the local level.
I've got lots of good theories, but it doesn't really matter if I can't do anything with them.
But that's the challenge of National Science Foundation
Yeah,
and where I'm at.
I think really that may very well be the opposing
Yes.
pieces here, okay?
Yes.
You got the National Science Foundation that doesn't want any concrete,
Right.
all right? And you've got us up here going, saying, like Gary has for the last few
Yeah.
months, show me,
Yes,
show
the money.
me some results.
Show me
okay?
the money.
So I mean, ultimately, that's gonna be the challenge.
Yeah, it is, and
Okay.
it's,
And if you can't get that to that level, then that, you know, that will become the
I
determining
believe,
factor.
personally, I believe in what I'm doing. I am confident. I mean, this is hard for me to be up here, but I see that my passion and confidence is like taking me out of the nerve. I'm not nervous at all. I am so confident. 20 years of working on this project, I've gotten to the code where National Science Foundation has, I have what they're looking for. It fits. I understand, not quite sure what your name, I know where you're coming from. You want that concrete. I don't have the concrete. All I can show is you people coming together and working for the best of the community. When I first came to this town, when I came back to this town in 2006, tried to get on the Economic Development Committee, I was casted out. They didn't want me. I was told, no, we don't want you on the committee. I was working with, trying to get in there with Tom Ursula. You know what I mean? This town has a clique. This town has a set community of people living every day. You got Massabesic that's growing and people are doing gaming and different stuff. I have all these challenges, absolutely. There's no argument that there's that's part of the game that you will see when I play 4D. Who can I get in my corner to help support me to make this happen?
Okay.
That's where my challenge is.
I'd love to have you on the Economic Development Committee.
Could I
So
ask,
I'm there, I am there.
Ken,
are we gonna get to a point where we vote if we even wanna continue with this? Is that coming up sometime in the
well,
future?
I think her request that we endorse her efforts to at least pursue this with the National Science Foundation. I think that's what she's ultimately
Yes.
looking for. I'm not sure that we're there yet.
No, it's support, I mean, right now it's support to learn what
Right.
4D is and how it works.
And I think by entertaining her at this point with at least, hey, let's listen and see where we go with this, I think that's part of all we can do at this point. There's gonna be a point where, you're right, we probably are gonna say, you know, go for it, and we'll endorse the efforts and whatnot, but.
Dwayne, what do you have to say?
Not a word there, just listening.
Gordon or Ted, anything?
The only thing I'm gonna say is, SAD 57, I believe, is gonna be an awful fight. They do not want you talking to any board members.
Oh, I know, I already got
They want
that.
you in the superintendent's office. They are very rude. They are not friendly. All I'm gonna tell you.
I'm glad this is recorded, no offense, I can use that as a tool.
You
Or
can do
weapon.
that, but that's what they have told the board
Yeah.
members throughout the SAD 57.
And
meeting.
how do you get successful? I mean, like, that's one of the problems is you get the school and the town are not even on working together.
When I heard that the other night, I was quite upset.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Gordon, you have anything?
Well, I know that when someone comes up with an idea that they're very passionate about and other people don't buy into it, and I'm thinking back, like, you know, when Fulton tried to get things going for his steamship, or when Seward wanted to buy Alaska, you know, they all thought that was, you know, crazy. And to be quite honest, I think that this is an abstract theoretical thing, and to me it conjures up the feeling that you know, I can hear Rod Serling talking in this kind of Twilight Zone-ish type of thing, and I really don't see something concrete there. And maybe it's because I'm not in your dimension, you know. And
I'm as real can get. And again, if I can make a playing card of you, playing card of each one of you, and put it into a deck, and I give it to a high school student, and these are your selectmen, and these are the committees that they're on. These committees are doing this for the town, and the town looks like this with X amount of population and, you know, services. How can you rearrange this so we can make this a better community to live in? They can take these cards. This is what gamers do. Again, as I've told you before, I don't know if you mentioned it too, but this is like taking it into a game theory. John Nash's game theory. I mean, it's that competitiveness. So when I solidify your position as a selectman, What is this card, what are you responsible for? I can't capture your energy and say, here, this is Gordon's energy. I can put it on a card, a trading card, a baseball card type thing, and that gives somebody a visual. There's your validation right there. And I get it on the table. You want to play cards? These are the people in Waterboro. These are the resources. What are your resources in Waterboro? You've got apple trees, you've got farming. Nobody knows. So you put it all together into a single playing field. And I'm capturing the energies and putting it into a trading card. We can visually see what's going on. I can have a workshop and take different sets of cards and show people what's going on. That's how I'm going to capture the energy. Again, this is part of the 4D project, that when you incorporate all the energies of the people, we can break it down into trading cards.
The thing I have a hard time dealing with is the people, the electorate, the citizens. They don't want this Board of Selectmen playing games. They want answers. They want us to solve problems that they have.
It's not about you playing the games, it's about them knowing what's going on. It's about the public knowing what's going on. That's what this project is all about. All it is an education, communication tool to let people know what's going on, understand it from the different perspectives, and where you're coming from. Where is Gary coming from? You know what I mean? He's managing them. I don't think anybody in this town of Waterboro that I have met knows that Gary manages, what is it? How many millions of dollars?
It's a $15 million budget.
$15 million, you know what I mean? And that's, when, like, using Staples as an example, if you got somebody that's leading a $15 million store, they're listening. How many people are listening?
One business.
What's that?
We're giving one business 11 million.
You take 11,
We're handing that right down to as Doug Foglio called it, the golden banana.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Yes.
handing it out.
And yes, Dennis, that's,
We're starting to circle here, so I think you know the challenge.
Yes.
And there will be two opposing issues here that you're gonna have to work out. That requirement is the NSF that's kind of nebulous with what they wanna, and it's guys that are saying what's the concrete evidence and whatnot, so that will be the challenge.
it's that part I'm pretty confident, because the material that I have. It's the hard part that bothers me is the disconnect of the town of Waterboro and the RSU 57. That it shouldn't be like that. I mean, I think I can get enough people and petition, and even if I use that as a survey, should they be working together? Yes or no? If they say no, then my bad. That's all I can say.
Well,
thank you. I appreciate this. At least I get to. This is just for me. This is formalizing building eWorld publicly. Now I can go to National Science Foundation and say I made my step into the town of Waterboro. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Public comments. Bridget, you had a...
Hi, Bridget McCallum, trustee, Waterboro Library. We're having a silent auction. We're going to be raising money to outfit a youth, teen, young adult space in the library, our tiny library. It's kind of young adult room. It's becoming a subset of the Maggie Taylor Reading Nook, which is behind the children's room. So we'll be looking for furniture to outfit that, as well as resources for what are called juvenile readers. And not having young children, I can't exactly tell you who they are.
Is that a crime?
I think, anyway, it's a category of children's readings. So we're asking if anyone has a craft, makes lovely things that people might be able to, that they might donate for people to bid on, or we're going around to businesses to see someone might have gift cards or services or goods that they could donate. We'd appreciate it. And March 15th is the time we'd like to have everything in by, so that we can start putting the word out online and at the library about what auction items we will have.
So the auction will be online?
It'll be at the I'm not exactly sure how much it's going to be online this time. It all depends on the technology and those who are designing it.
Right.
And that's not my job.
But there's
right
no
now.
plan at this point to have a function that acts as a silent auction, or?
You don't bid online, but you can look at the things for auction
I think
online.
things will be on display. Last time they were on display online. We're having a trustee meeting this Thursday night, and since I was here, I really wanted to get it out there for people who might think if they do greeting cards or
Yep.
any art that they might think, well, I'll make something for the auction. The auction will happen in April, and we're hoping by March 15th to get a sense of what all we have for
So
prizes.
you're looking for donations or
Donations
whatever
of prizes.
by March
By
15th.
March 15th. Thank you. Any questions?
Where do you want the donations brought to?
To the library or, well, to the library, but.
You can bring them here if they're closed.
There's to Town Hall if the library is closed, that would be great. And then there's an email address if you want to contact anyone, librarian@waterboromaine.gov.
Okay,
Or the library phone, 247-3363.
okay,
Okay?
thanks, Bridget.
Thank you.
Okay, boom, 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 boom.
That's your report.
Selectmen's reports. Dwayne, anything?
Oh, just a few more complaints on the roads. I do have a concern with the plowing and the contract that we have. Contract reads that those banks as we push back 2 feet off the pavement. We've got many roads, even state aid roads, they're still sitting on the hot top. With the rain that we got coming and the rain that we've had in the last 2 weeks, we got some major problems with these roads. It's not getting any better, and it's not gonna get any better if those shoulders ain't pushed back so that water can run in the ditches.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't run into the ditch, our town crew is gonna have major, we ain't got money enough in the budget to keep the roads up kept in the spring on the spring roads, because we've got 6 or 8 inches of ice on the shoulders, and that water can't get into our ditches.
Sounds like maybe Dave oughta.
We keep putting drainage pipes and manhole covers in to run this water off, and there's ice over the top of the covers, so the water keeps going and washing everybody's residents' driveways out, and the taxpayers are paying for it.
So maybe,
Give me some names after the meeting, road names.
Yeah, we got 2 state aid roads. I was over them the other day. I went out to shovel some
So West,
drainage, West Road and Goodwin's Mills. The Goodwin's Mills Road, I hadn't been across it all winter. And I went up through there, and the snow ain't even off the pavement. When you get to Lyman, they're pushed over 2 feet, so the water's running into the ditch. It's lack of communications between the town and the
snowplow contract.
snowplow contractor.
I was on West Road today and I saw that.
And the state has to maintain those 2 roads, but we can't maintain it it's up to the town to maintain it, so.
Okay. Anything else, Dwayne?
No, I think that's
enough?
enough.
Tim?
I've said my piece.
Nothing for me, thanks.
Oh, yes, I do. State of Maine is still looking to hear from the town of Waterboro whether they want to buy that sand pile down to the Lyman State Camp. The road public works director was going to give back to Scarborough, and they have not heard from him since November, and he was supposed to get back to them.
Where is this?
The sand pile that is in the Lyman
On
MDOT
on
202. They've offered the town of Waterboro that
One-
pile of sand.
One's is to the right.
Just beyond the town hall
If you
restaurant.
drive into the driveway, it's the pile of sand to your right, closest to the,
One of the bushes is right. You can grow them out.
well, they redid the whole pile last summer when they mixed some of it into the hot top.
Okay.
But
I didn't
they've
realize
offered
that
to
was
the town of
awful.
Waterboro at a very reasonable price, and nobody's got back to them.
I didn't know anything about
it. David told me that he was getting with you, and that was back in November, and nobody's heard from him, and Joe's still waiting.
But it's
to
just
hear
the
from him.
sand pile, it's not the property.
No,
No,
just
the
the
sand
sand pile.
Okay.
There's
We'll have to move the sand if you bought it.
3, yeah, it's gotta be moved.
Is it ditching?
No, it's clear winter sand
Oh,
that the
okay.
state does not use anymore.
Okay.
Ted, do you have anything?
Just what I mentioned to you earlier tonight, to piggyback off of what Dwayne said,
a lot of complaints about the town roads, Middle Road specifically. I won't drive down Middle Road until late spring right now because there's parts of it that are almost impassable because of the condition of the road, especially the one part that's real bad is right in front of number 533 Middle Road. It looks like a culvert or something has collapsed in the road. Dave does have the orange bump signs on either side of it, but the school buses have to come to a complete stop when they get to that, coming in both directions so that they can cross it without knocking people out of the seats in the bus. And the only other thing is that I've had complaints, or concerns, I'll say, not complaints, that they've seen our town truck plowing some roads in town, and they want to know why when we're paying someone else to plow the roads in town.
Do you know what roads those are?
Colby Drive for one. He's been seen in there a couple of times. The other thing is the same people that made comments about that say that when the plow guy that comes in there, he comes in off of Main Street, and in the middle of that cul-de-sac, there's a round area, the grassy area. He comes in and goes to the left, pushes snow around counterclockwise. I think my reasoning is he's doing that to push snow away from the driveways, but when he comes back around to go back out to Main Street, all that snow is getting dumped where that circle goes around, and there's 2.5 feet of snow there every time it snows.
So he goes in clockwise.
He goes in clockwise. He goes in clockwise.
So his wing is...
Yeah, his wing is pushing
towards
toward the middle, and then when he comes back out to 11 o'clock to go straight back out to Main Street, he's dumping it all right there, and he doesn't come back in and clean it up.
Very hard to plow them circles.
Yeah.
No matter which way you plow it, it ain't gonna be happy for somebody.
Need a bobcat.
And speaking of Colby Drive, the mailbox that the contractor knocked over is temporarily mounted on sawhorses, and he's been ordered to fix or replace the mounting.
I think that's interesting too, that because of the box itself, which belongs to the post office, they won't do anything about that.
I think they've shed their box ownership now, from what somebody told me.
And I don't understand that.
Because they
Because
can't.
it's still a federal offense to go in there and do anything with that box.
9 times out of 10, if a mailbox is hit, because it ain't been put up properly, and it's in the town or state right of way. Because if it's put up properly, a wing will go underneath the mailbox.
Okay. Gordon, anything?
No, all set.
Okay. And I'm all set, so Gary, just a couple of things.
My massive town administrator's report, yes. Essentially, the last scheduled budget committee meeting was held February 21st, and they voted on all the sections except the capital improvement section, which they would like to have some discussion with you. And we've got so many things that are in the capital world this time around, with possible snow blower that we might need, possible truck to move, transfer station containers, etc. So they're looking to have that workshop with you folks, and maybe we'll have some more discussion on that later in this meeting. You have budget summaries before you tonight. I have extras here if anyone else would like one. Remember, that's a preliminary memo, and the document itself is not complete because the CIP section is not complete. But it's a really good start, and I thank the Budget Committee for all the work that they did in very quick fashion with some new members as well. Transfer station hauling contract, the bids are due by 5 o'clock March 12th. And so then we'll have some hard numbers on the other side to compare whether or not we want to buy a truck and do everything ourselves, or hire a new contractor and not even buy a truck, or anything in between. A couple other little things that just came up late today. The Limerick Board of Selectmen is interested in sitting down and just having an open conversation with Waterboro Selectmen about anything that could be collaborated on and with cost savings in the future. They meet every Monday night, so if you wanted to throw me a couple of dates, I could throw back to them for Mondays, and I can certainly give them your Tuesdays, and maybe we could pick a date for that. And our fire-resistant record storage room up behind us here, next to the code office, the RFP is almost done, and hopefully by the end of this week that will actually go out, and we'll be building that this spring. And we have a very old safe in the old part of Town Hall, which is in the corner there. Some of you have probably seen that before. We've bared it, and it's on wheels, and it's either going to come out through the Funergy room, or we're going to rip the side of the wall off there and pull it out with a loader. But it is a big guy. It's about 5.5, almost 6 feet tall, double door. And if it was painted up, it would look beautiful in this front lobby.
Yeah.
But it needs a paint job. But anytime you're over there, just stick your head in the front doors, and it was built into the corner of the wall, closest
Probably
to
want to put plywood down and move that across the front.
I would put steel down, or else
Yeah.
it might be in the basement.
Even more than
Well,
that.
the one that's built in, that's the one you're talking about.
Yeah. But it's on wheels. I mean, it was moved in there and then made to look like
Yeah.
it was permanent.
We have a combination.
I took the wheel pack out so nobody can lock it.
No, but I mean, we have the combination so that it's usable,
You can get it, yes, yeah.
so we don't have the combination, but we can get it.
You can set it. Yeah. You can set your own combination. so.
All right,
That's it for me.
thanks, Gary. New business, discuss set workshop dates to meet with the budget committee. There's some interest in Saturday mornings. I'm not sure what everybody's opinion is of that, whatnot. Probably will have to go out to at least the 9th, maybe. I don't see anything happening this
I'm not in
week.
town on the 9th and the 10th,
Okay.
so if it's gonna be a Saturday morning.
Or we can set up a night or whatever the case. We're meeting next week, the 5th,
Yep.
with the
Community Center Steering
Community
Committee.
Center Steering Committee, so that's out, but is there another night that people are interested in, or do you wanna try to do it?
Is the 16th good for everybody?
16th works probably for me. I'm not sure we wanna,
Is this something we wanna get done?
Pretty far out.
We should.
I
Yeah,
couldn't
that's-
say, I mean, the quicker we get it done, but
Well, they usually meet on Monday nights, so 4th or the 11th.
That's at 4:30 too.
I mean, we can certainly make it later in the evening. Doesn't have to be at 4:30.
I can, as long as it's not snowing, I can be here by 4. If I had.
Yeah, I
Gordon, you probably wouldn't be here on the 4th.
I would not be, wouldn't be available
Yeah.
the 4th.
I mean, you could start on the 4th, and if we needed another one, that's up to you folks. It would just be helpful to sort out, we won't have the figures on the hauling contract, but sort out some of the priorities that I know are not all going to be funded.
well,
We'll start on the 4th at 6?
that,
Works for me.
well, we can do it earlier.
We'll only be 4 people. Nice to have 5.
We'll
I
start
can be
it.
here anytime.
We could do,
I mean, if that committee gets here at 4:30, they,
yeah.
I don't, as long as the rest of the board can get here, I have no problem.
I get it, I just have to make provisions, that's
Yeah.
all.
I just leave early.
Can you make it 4:30 on Monday?
4:30?
4:30 or 5?
So that's the 4th?
Yes,
4:30 or 5?
yes.
Okay. I guess if you can corral the 3 guys and
Girl
girl.
and woman.
4, just 4, right? Yeah.
And another one coming for another year.
Maybe, he
Yeah.
came to last meeting.
Wait, so
Yeah.
he was here.
Okay,
So,
4:30?
4:30 or 5?
Yes.
4:30 is fine.
4:30.
4:30 is Monday, the 4th, this room.
Be there.
So you've got the budget document in the memo that'll be fine for that. And
Yep.
you can read those things in there that raise those issues. And Tammy, you can grab one of these on your way out if you'd like.
Okay? Anything else?
Yes, March 4th, right?
Old business, we were talking about town report dedications. I think we had one, Cindy, right? And then we had the 4 business folks, right? That are all in their 90s.
So is your goal to pick one here, or? I was kind of
I
unclear
was-
the
I
last
was,
time.
I was thinking that we would do the group of them, right? We would do
I would
a
say-
page that has, well, you got one that's 100.
Well, actually, if I can say this, we had 2 people in town in the last year that reached 100 years old.
Okay,
You could throw those 2 ladies on the one page, or do them and then do something with the others next year. But I mean, there's not too many people that we can say in the town of Waterboro that have reached 100 years old in the same year, within a year's time span.
so we had Bean, what was the other one?
Lena Sandwood.
Lena Sandberg.
Yeah, Sanborn.
Okay. Right.
because that don't come around very often.
And there once.
I think if you get more than two, it just looks kind of too busy.
It's a good common theme too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. Do the two ladies that are 100 years old, the centurions. Right?
Start something.
And we don't want any Photoshop, Dave,
Both of them were
to make them look
business,
like centurions.
both of them were business ladies in town.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, do that and then do Cindy as the memorial? Or the Cindy Gurney?
Memorial inside?
Well, no. She's passed, right?
Right.
So we would have a dedication to her
As part of the annual report?
as, you know,
I thought we dedicated to the people that were on the front cover. I'm confused.
whatever you wanna do. You wanna dedicate it to the two centurions? I just think that there should
Well,
be
there's
some
cen-
recognition.
there's
Couldn't have a memorial
centenarians.
page inside there somewhere,
It could
just
be something
because.
like a memorial page.
Right.
They're centenarians.
Centenarians?
Yep.
Centurions?
That's a snowmobile.
Gordon's right.
Huh?
Gordon's right.
No, he looked it up.
I'm
He's cheating.
sorry. He Googled it. Yeah, but the reporter knew. Yeah, let's dedicate the thing to the two ladies,
Okay.
and then inside have something recognizing Cindy.
One page?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right? Anything else?
Terry and I will work that up and get it back to you and probably Dave will be involved there too, to see if that fits what you're thinking.
Item 11, discuss and vote to approve the minutes of the February 12th regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Pending decisions, week's action list, any agenda items that we want? Looks like we're gonna be sucking up the, most of our time on the budget.
Yes.
So we will have to, when is the budget gonna be finalized? The days,
Don't have my magic book
April?
here. Yeah, we need to be done by March, the end of March.
Okay,
Actually,
so,
the deadline technically is in March.
so we will have to have a vote on the 26th.
Yeah, you might need to meet the 19th on that.
Yeah, okay. If nothing else, I would jump all the way to item 17.
Motion to
Entertain a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Good night.